Okay, was this a trick or was it a treat? I know kids and parents are still scratching their heads. October the 31st, and it's looking more like December the 31st. Take a look at North Bay as well. That was Sudbury. This is North Bay, a snowy scene. Getting ready for Christmas. This is really what I think of when watching this video, and also changing those winter tires. I'm sure a lot of people thought, yeah, I should have changed them last week. Rachel Schoutsen here with you today just after 4 p.m. and I know the kids, you're excited to go trick-or-treating tonight. Temperatures are going to be cold. When mom says you have to wear the parka tonight, you have to wear the parka tonight, because this is what we are looking at currently right now. Okay, within the city of Toronto, 7 degrees, but once it gets a little bit cooler, that's where we are going to be closer to that freezing line. And also the rain. It's going to be wet out there too. Take a look at our live radar right now. In the blue, that is snow. So Sudbury, where we were just showing you some video of just earlier, 13 centimeters of snow has fallen there. Looks like they are just finally getting out of the snow now. But you know what? That freezing line is only going one way. It is coming south. We'll talk about our potential of seeing some flurries. Right now, though, we can see straight rain falling throughout southern Ontario, and it is a very uncomfortable rain, isn't it? It is sort of just a soaking wet rain, and that's what we will be seeing. Now, through Saturday, this is where we could be getting into some mixing. We'll talk about that, but of course, we want to keep you safe out as you trick-or-treat tonight. Here's a message from the Barrie Police. Absolutely. You are important to us. So be careful out there. Of course, maybe even some light up tape is also great for the kids as well when we do see, again, the darker hours. In towards the overnight, feeling like -4 in Toronto. It is not going to be a pleasant trick or treat. I think you get the idea here. It is cold and wet. Saturday afternoon, really not warming up too much as well. 5 degrees in Toronto. Take a look as well. We are seeing Kitchener and Brantford in towards the wind chill. This is during the day tomorrow. So we really are on that downward temperature trend now, aren't we? Also, I want to show you this. Saturday afternoon, the wind speed and the wind gust. We could be seeing gusts over 50 kilometers an hour in Hamilton, around Kitchener as well, St. Catharines, 60, and these winds are all out of the north. And that's what's really chilling us down as we take a look at Sunday, a morning freeze. We'll talk more about our potential to see flurries coming up.
So be my guest and join me.
Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. You do a very good weather report out there. Thanks so much for that. And thank you for joining us. Happy Halloween. We're not bringing you the best forecast, and some of you may even consider it a scary forecast. I know, with freezing temperatures, snow this morning, snow in Sudbury, 13 centimeters fell. Taking a look at our current conditions right now. Okay, not too bad. 7 degrees in Toronto. As you head a little bit further north, that's where the blues come into play, and that's where, yes, we are playing with the freezing line here. Live look at the radar. Okay, this is where the snow is falling. That is indicated in blue. But for southern Ontario, we really are just seeing straight rain. Just along like the Georgian Bay, like here on here, you can see just a touch of some flurries, and that could be lake effect. Now, this very wet weather, it is going to continue, unfortunately, for the trick-or-treat hour. And let's see how this plays out. All the moisture continuing to stay, but as the freezing line sinks south through the overnight, this is where we could be getting into some mixing. You could see your first flurry of this winter season on Halloween. Take a look at this. In the red, this is highlighting where we are seeing the mixing. This is rain and some flurries falling here. So the Greater Toronto Area, Mississauga, Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, you are all involved in this. And it does stretch up right in towards Ottawa. So mixed precipitation tonight, that is what you can look forward to. This is going to be more pre-dawn in towards Saturday. Now, temperature-wise, we are cool, and we're really not getting back up to seasonal until about Monday, where the city of Toronto will see 11 degrees. Now, let me show you the calm before the storm. This is St. John, New Brunswick, and they are in for quite a beating in terms of the weather. A powerful nor'easter tracking up the Atlantic seaboard. And this is where we could be seeing some very strong bands of snow throughout New Brunswick. So take a look at this powerful system. It's actually 2 lows that merge together. And really the snowiest day is going to be Sunday for the Maritime provinces. Also, when do we get back into the rain? That's looking to be more Tuesday. Now stay with us here at the Weather Network. The Long Ranger is up when we return. Okay, we are in the Halloween spirit here at the Weather Network, whether you're seeing rain, snow, or mixing. We'll get into that story coming up, but first, let's feature your photos. Thanks so much for this. This is the Star Wars family. We got the Princess Leia and scary Darth Vader going on here. Also, amazing pumpkin work. I have to say, the carved pumpkins, the painted pumpkins as well, the Ninja Turtles, amazing. Also, this sent in from Alberta. I love these guys. We have the police officer, the princess as well, and lastly, the baby pumpkin. This has to be one of my favorite costumes. More on the weekend weather coming up. All of the winds coming out of the north. Now stay with us. We'll be checking in with Gaston next.
Go to the evening.
All right, Mike Arsenault, or Gaston, should say, live in Port Perry. It is almost 5 o'clock, and I know your little ones are saying, when is it time to go trick-or-treating? Well, soon, guys, of course, when it gets dark out, but watch out for the rain, because this is what we are seeing. A lot of rain throughout southern Ontario right now, highlighted in the blue. That's where we are seeing the snow, and that freezing line will only continue to sink south. It's going in one direction here, and it does look like we could be getting into some mixed flurries for Barrie towards this evening. That will sink into the city of Toronto pre-dawn. Yes, pre-dawn for Saturday. Now, of course, the kids are going out. We want to keep them safe. Here's a message from the Barrie Police. Good point there. And of course, drivers, you really have to keep an eye out for the trick-or-treaters tonight. We will be seeing those drizzly conditions and of course, spray off the other vehicles, always making it a little bit harder to drive out there. And in residential areas, a lot more traffic. Now, as we take a look at Barrie through the overnight, this isn't snow that's falling in the picture now, is it? Yes, it is. It's snow and it's flurries. Now, as we take a look to Toronto, that's where we do still probably are going to be getting into the rain. But pre-dawn for Saturday, this is where we will be seeing that mixing line continuing to sink south. And yes, this is where the Greater Toronto area could possibly be seeing its first flurry of this winter season. So this will be all before you wake up on Saturday. But some areas, let's say especially Orangeville, you could wake up and just see trace amounts of snow, maybe on the front lawn, on the mailbox. Okay, getting into our temperatures for Saturday afternoon. 5 degrees in Toronto. This is below seasonal. We are seeing a powerful sort of a winter storm. A nor'easter making its way up the Atlantic seaboard, and we are pinpointing New Brunswick to see some very strong snow, very strong winds, and that is going to be the big story throughout this weekend. For us in the GTA, we do see a clear out in towards Saturday afternoon and Sunday. Greatest chance of some more rain will be on Tuesday. Now, okay, was this a trick? Or was this a treat? The first significant snowfall in Ontario, it happened on Halloween. This picture is real, and it was taken this morning. This is Chrissy Van making snow angels in Sudbury, where 13 centimeters of snow fell. I know some kids were probably happy, and some parents, well, they were definitely bringing out the shovels now, weren't they? Now, let's take a look at this picture. This is defining who's seeing snow, who's seeing the mixing, and who is seeing the rain. This is all for the trick-or-treat hour. So as we take a look at the pink, this is where we start mixing, and unfortunately this freezing line is only going in one direction. Yes, it is headed south. So let's take a look at this. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depends if you want to see those flurries, pre-dawn Saturday, that is when we, the Greater Toronto area, could be seeing our first flurry of this winter season. So, okay, not to get too into winter just yet, because it's still Halloween, and I want to show you some great Halloween photos that were sent in to us here by the Weather Network. Take a look at this. The baby granny. I love this photo. And then I also want to jump into Nitro. Nitro is the Ninja Turtle dog. I love people dressing up their dogs here. We also have a weather-related one. This is Lightning, and unfortunately, Lightning's victim there. And then we also have Sir Topham Hat. This is our producer, John DeGarris' son, Reagan, and also Tyson. Tyson looking very excited there to be Dracula. Quickly, I want to get through a few more. This is Lily from Niagara Falls dressed up in her beautiful pumpkin costume. And it looks like this pumpkin being a little mean to the dragon here. Thanks so much for sending in this funny photo. We also have the zombie bride going on. A great picture. Thanks, Anne, for sending in this one. And lastly, we have the full family taking part in Halloween, there is the Star Wars family. Now, I have to tell you, one thing I love about Halloween is in just a few hours, we'll all be singing Christmas carols. Happy Halloween from the Weather Network. Okay, so we could have shown you some footage of a haunted house or a mummy or a zombie, but we thought this snow was scary enough for our Halloween coverage here at the Weather Network. This is only a few hours away from the GTA, Sudbury, Ontario, as well as North Bay, Ontario. Ah, yes, winter is coming. Sudbury picked up around 13 centimeters of snow. Chrissy Van was our reporter there this morning. She was making snow angels, and good for you, Chrissy, because that's the kind of spirit that we need, getting this much snow on Halloween. Rachel Schoutsen here with you, and I'm glad you're here. Happy Halloween. This is a look at the snow through Saturday. Now, Sudbury is out of the snow now, and no more is coming for this weekend. Once it's done, it's done. But that snow is coming in one direction. It is sinking south. We'll talk more about what we could see coming up, but first, let me show you this. One of our Weather Network presenters decided to dress up as Gaston. Here he is.
Of course, Halloween is a time for people of all ages, even old guys like myself, trying to recapture my youth by being Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. I have Kara and Maya. Kara, what's the most exciting part about Halloween?
Going trick-or-treating.
Now, it's raining and it's cold outside. Do you still want to go outside and get some candy?
We're gonna wear a coat.
We're going to wear a coat and stay warm so we can get lots of candy. And Maya, can I have some of your candy tonight? All right. Okay. Not even a little bit? No. Okay. Maya's not giving me any candy. I'm going to have to go trick-or-treating myself. I'm probably going to put a jacket on as well because temperatures are pretty chilly throughout southern Ontario on this Halloween evening.
Okay, kids, you heard him. You need the jacket and no sharing of the candy. Thanks so much for that, Gaston. Now let's take a look at this. Through Saturday, okay, this is how much rain we could be seeing throughout southern Ontario. So quite a bit of rain when we take into account that it really has been falling all day long. And it's that cold and it's that uncomfortable rain. Will it stay as rain? Stay with us. Okay, as we get into the overnight, feeling like -4 once you factor in that wind chill. The winds are coming out of the north, and that is what's really keeping us cool. If you think it's below seasonal, you are right. We should be at around 10 degrees for this time of year. High of 5 in the city of Toronto on Saturday, feeling like -2 as you travel up the 400 and head into Barrie. Also getting into some of those gusts. In St. Catharines, it's not going to be feeling too comfortable tomorrow. A wind directly out of the north, gusts around 60. Hamilton and Kitchener close to 50 as well. So things are going to be blustery tomorrow. We're not calling it brisk anymore. This is going to be a little uncomfortable. A freezing morning on Sunday with a mix of sun and clouds. But here's some good news. Monday, milder. We are back to seasonal. Stay with us. More on the flurries for Toronto coming up. Okay, there is no shortage of Halloween fun here at the Weather Network. And you know what? I'm glad you're here because one of our Weather Network reporters has decided to jump into Beauty and the Beast. Here's Gaston with some friends he met earlier today.
It's the usual suspects of Halloween here at the Children's House Montessori School in Port Perry, Ontario. Myself, Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, member of the SWAT team, the party pair. We have a Phantom, Tigger, Bleeding Scream, and a member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Can I get a salute there, please? There we go. We're here with the SWAT team member, Nathan. Now, Nathan, it's going to be windy. It's going to be rainy in southern Ontario. Is that going to stop you from getting a lot of candy tonight?
No.
Is there any chance you're going to save some of that candy for tomorrow, or is it all going to be eaten tonight?
Probably a little bit saved.
Probably a good idea. Maybe wear a toque as well because it is going to be cold and steadily getting colder throughout southern Ontario this evening with that mixing line moving further to the south.
I love it, guys. You look awesome, especially the salute there. That was a very good one. Thanks so much, Gaston and friends. All right, now I'll deliver you some of the snowy, some of the cold news. All right, so this evening we will be seeing that wet weather continuing. Trick or treat. Yes, you guys could possibly be getting soaked. Bring the umbrella, maybe put a clear plastic bag over the Halloween costume so you can still see the costume. Maybe that could be Meet you halfway there, kids. All right, now, as we take a look at this, the freezing line continues to sink south, and throughout the overnight in towards Saturday morning, that's where the city of Toronto could be getting into some mixing. Take a look, highlighted in red. This is a snow-rain mix. We could be seeing just some light flurries and light precipitation in the city of Toronto. Stay with us. Our look at the Long Ranger is next.
Area back inside of the studio.
All right, guys, no one is giving up on trick-or-treating today now, are they? Now, this is interesting. Okay, so Mike Arsenault in Port Perry here, where we're seeing the rain, in a T-shirt. Chrissy Van, earlier this morning, up in Sudbury, wearing a full winter parka, hats, mitts, gloves. This is what she was standing in. So depending on where you are throughout Southern Ontario, you will need some different gear. These people, if you remembered your mittens this morning, I'm sure you were very thankful. Now let's take a look at our temperatures. So up towards the north, these temperatures are freezing, and especially as we get in towards the overnight, this is very close to -15 here. As we take a closer look in towards Toronto, 2 degrees, 1 in Barrie, 2 in Oshawa, so very close to the freezing mark. So as the precipitation continues to fall, temperatures heading downwards. Yes, you guessed it. We could be getting into the flurries and into the snow, especially places like Orangeville. Mark Robinson was there yesterday, and it's a very good chance that Orangeville will be getting into the snow, most likely after the trick-or-treat hours. Now, through the overnight, wind chills do come into play. Pretty chilly with a -4 there in Toronto. Also getting in towards Saturday morning, we can see here in this map, it's showing some precipitation for Saturday morning. We are most likely to see some flurries and some mixing pre-dawn. And yes, the rain could linger around just to about, let's say, 10, 11 o'clock. By the time we're past lunch, we will be seeing a clearing for the Greater Toronto area. In towards Barrie, this is not rain. No, this is falling as snow. But you know what? Today, throughout the GTA, it was that very cold and heavy rain. And in my opinion, I would almost just rather be snow at that point. -1 to start off tomorrow in Barrie. Winds are coming right out of the north, and wind gusts could get up to around 60 in St. Catharines. Now stay with us because we are going to continue to check in with the kids in Port Perry. You don't want to miss it.
Belle. And what about your second favorite character?
The Beast.
Well, this isn't working out very well. Gaston sending it back inside to the studio.
Don't worry, Gaston. You were my favorite dreamy character of Beauty and the Beast. That was Mike and the kids earlier today in Port Perry. And I'm sure a lot of you now are out trick-or-treating, and maybe you're battling with the kids. You gotta wear the parka. You gotta put a poncho over the costume. And I know it is not the best option, but you might have to with temperatures like this and conditions like this as well. The mixing line, it continues to sink a little bit further south, and yes, us in the city of Toronto, we could be seeing a flurry or two. In Barrie through the overnight, that rain will transition to snow. It is not the best trick-or-treat forecast, but from the kids that we've been talking to today, no one is not going trick-or-treating. Now, as we take a look at Toronto through the overnight, rain will fall, but this will transition into a mixing period. Have a look at the reds now. Pre-dawn on Saturday. That is now very close. You know what? It is right into the GTA. London through Toronto, stretching up towards Barrie, even out in towards Montreal, Quebec. This is where we will see a rain-snow mix. So very slippery and slushy conditions. Be careful, especially going over bridges and overpasses. With the winds that we will experience, those are the first areas that could ice over. Now, as we take a look at our temperatures on Saturday, 5 for the city of Toronto. Not very good. That is below seasonal. Should be at 10 for this time of year. Now, in terms of the moisture, we do clear out in towards Saturday afternoon and through Sunday. Monday is seasonal, but Tuesday we get another chance of seeing rain. Okay, happy Halloween. We are bringing you the absolute scariest footage of the day today. Look at the snow in Sudbury. 13 centimeters fell today. North Bay, also another victim of this scary Halloween scene. People in Northern Ontario, thanks Jim for sending this in, are probably thinking this looks more like a Merry Christmas than a Happy Halloween. Thanks so much for joining us right now. Rachel Schoutsen joining you. And the good news is these guys are now out of the snow. So Sudbury, North Bay, once the last flake falls, you're good for the weekend. You can put that shovel away. But this snow is going somewhere, and it's headed in this direction. It is sinking south, so the flurries possible for us in the Greater Toronto area. We start off as rain, okay. It's been a rainy day throughout the day today. It's that cold and uncomfortable rain, winds out of the north as well, around 10 to 15 millimeters for the city of Toronto, because it really has just been constantly all day long. Now, as we take a look in towards the overnight, wind chill comes into play, temperatures a lot cooler, and that freezing line now heads a little bit closer to the 401, a little bit closer in the city of Toronto, and yes, pre-dawn Saturday, possible to see a trace of snow throughout the city of Toronto. The mixing in the air. If you have late Halloween night plans tonight, on your way home, you'll probably see a snowflake or two. And you can say that was the scariest thing you've seen all night. Now, as we take a look at Saturday afternoon, 5 for the city of Toronto. If you think this is below seasonal, you are right. We should be at around 10 for this time of year. So it's a cold and it's a snowy Halloween. Now, take a look at Saturday afternoon. The winds are directly coming out of the north. So that's really helping to keep our temperatures just a little bit chillier and the conditions just a little more uncomfortable. St. Catharines, gusts up to 60 kilometers. Stay with us. More on the weekend forecast coming up. Our top 5, the Weather Network's best of Halloween. Number 5.
The weather seems to be very, very changeable. In the prairies, we might see cooler temperatures. In Newfoundland as well.
Number 4.
I'm a rainbow on a sunny day.
I'm Wonder Woman.
And I'm Superman. You just look wonderful.
I'm sweating in the polyester.
You know,
Number 3.
What Calgarians are planning to dress up as.
Time to consult an expert.
Right, pretty Alice?
Number 2.
You're gonna come with me, right?
oh no, I never go in there.
And number 1.
The wet weather held off just long enough for Halloween here in Halifax. Pumpkins lit up the streets of Halifax as people headed downtown for some post-trick-or-treating fun.
Okay, the best of Halloween here at the Weather Network, and for a lot of us, this could be our very first Halloween in this much snow. This is Marks Day, Ontario, on the Trans-Canada there. It's just in between Sudbury and North Bay. So yeah, you had to go north to find snow, but once you headed into Port Perry, quite a different scene here. More rain. And for us in the GTA, the rain was mainly our story, and it will continue to be our story through the overnight as well. But that freezing line, well, it is sinking south. So our chance of seeing a flurry, maybe your first snowflake of this winter season, that could be happening tonight, perhaps as you're traveling home from your Halloween plans. Now, take a look at this. This is the moisture falling this evening in towards the overnight, and just pre-dawn, just before that moisture makes its way out of Toronto, that's when it could be changing over into a rain-snow mix. Take a look at the targeted areas here. Right out of Windsor, stretching up all the way in towards Montreal, Quebec, this is where we could be seeing that mixing line, that freezing line. So it's uncomfortable weather. Yes, it's a cold rain throughout the day today, through the overnight, and then this is what we could be seeing pre-dawn. When you wake up on Saturday morning, perhaps in Orangeville, you may even see a trace of snow, maybe on your bench or on your mailbox. In the city of Toronto, it is likely to melt very fast. Now, as we take a little look ahead here, Saturday, we see the rain icon for Toronto. This will be clearing out by the afternoon. Some cloud cover may stay around, but overall, this will be clearing out. Monday, look at that. Back to seasonal. Hamilton, same story goes. A better chance of seeing those flurries in Barrie. Well, happy Halloween from all of us here at the Weather Network. And I know some of you are probably thinking, she really should be saying Merry Christmas. When you see the snow they got in Sudbury, you'll know what I'm talking about. So this is around the 5 to 10 centimeter mark. And with higher amounts, Sudbury has recorded 13. Now, some people are calling it a trick, others a treat. Here's what they have to say in Sudbury.
Hopefully it's a trick.
Did a photo of her on Twitter shoveling someone's driveway, and I thought she was going to say it was from last year, but no, That was from this morning. Now that freezing line, the snow mixing into some flurries and rain, that is all sinking south, and eventually that could be hitting us in the GTA. Here's a look at some of the temperatures. So towards Sudbury, especially up towards Geraldton, this is where we are seeing those freezing temperatures this evening, close to -15, where we get into those very dark blues. Now for us in the Greater Toronto Area through the overnight, just flirting with that freezing mark for some of us. Orangeville, -1. Toronto, 2 degrees, and this through the overnight and pre-dawn into Saturday, this is where we do have the greatest chance of seeing maybe the first flurry of this winter season. It's still fall, by the way. I know that video out of Sudbury could make you think otherwise. Now through the overnight, wind chill will also come into play, feeling like -4 throughout many places in southern Ontario, so it will be a chilly night. If you are doing some late night plans for Halloween, you will definitely need the jacket. Now in towards Saturday morning, showing some rain here. This again could be falling as mixing. We could be seeing just a possible flurry or two in the city of Toronto, but around 10 to 11, all of this rain should be pushed out of the way and we will be seeing clear conditions in towards the afternoon. Travel up the 400, take you into Barrie. This is where we are more likely to see some flurries and snow for Saturday morning, -1. But again, this will all clear out in towards the afternoon. Wind gusts also quite strong, 60. That's what we could be seeing in St. Catharines. And notice the wind direction. All of the winds coming out of the north. Now stay with us. We'll be checking in with Gaston next.